kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Welcome to another session, Vampire the Masquerade. Last time, we saw Marli playing Alorah. This time, it's Crittershy. Critter, why don't you give an introduction? Who are you? What are your interests? What's your life like?
So Val, as most people know her, spends most of her time in the court of love in Paris.
Not Val. Talking
Oh,
about
me,
Critter.
Mimi,
Yes,
Mimi.
you.
Oh, Mimi. Oh, well, in that case, that's different. That's why I was like, what? Well, see, now that I have to talk about me, I'm clamming up.
You're good.
Hence the critter shy. I don't know. I'm just your general elder millennial gamer. I have a small Twitch channel where I play video games and build shit. I play a lot of D&D and things like that. Yeah, no, just a nerdy parent. That's with and a spicy disaster on the side.
Spicy disaster. That, I like that description very much.
Yeah, instead of a hot mess, spicy disaster.
I like that very much. So you're playing Mad Val.
Yes, It was a different kind of disaster.
So why don't you tell us a bit about Mad Val, who she is, where she comes from, what she likes to do. Keep in mind, we're
So,
starting back at your beginning.
yes, so she's got all the memories. So, Mad Val was created right when the Picts and Scots united, which was in like 940 something. Her family clan were mostly artists, uh, along the lines of painters and rock carvers. So obviously that's something that she was trained in most of her life, but she preferred singing. Not that she had an opportunity to do it very much unless it was under ceremonial purposes. But eventually, with the mingling of everyone, um, more and more strangers came to town, and eventually, even though she never had interest in the opposite sex, she had always preferred the ladies, much to the detriment of her family, who had been pushing for a bit now for her to just find somebody and push out a few brains, and then she can do whatever she wants after that. But that's when she met Ionides, who happened to be looking for specific painters. He wanted to recreate certain aspects of, I guess, classical Gaelic art with what he had been accumulating as a patron of the arts. Um,
Please excuse us. Critter, as mentioned earlier, has tiny humans in the house. So that may be a thing in the background. I should also mention that Critter does have a bird as well. So there may be chirping from time to time. Please bear with us.
we're all good now. So yes, she somehow found Ionis, who was admittedly very different from what she had seen, being of the blonde Greek origin, and somehow very captivating and incredibly sensual, which is not something that she was used to. And so she found him just as captivating as he found her, certain things like to another. And eventually some things happened, and she became a child of Ionitis, which was a big adjustment in some ways, but in another, it very much freed her because she wasn't totally accepted already where she was, whereas Ionitis was all about pushing her to all the things that she could do. It was very intoxicating. And they were together for about 100 years. And when she finally learned to control herself, feed on her own with confidence, and generally they just couldn't stand each other anymore and parted ways in relatively friendly terms. Relatively. Um, they bumped into each other a few times, especially in Paris, where his other child, let me remember, what's his name again? Etienne. Where's my 100 tab? No. All right, I just have so many fucking tabs.
You're good.
There we go. Etienne de Poitiers, who is a fellow Toreador, obviously, because he's kind of, I guess he's a sibling in a way.
Mhm.
We get along okay. He is more of the he's a poet
Ooh.
who has his eye on high stations. In particular, he's actually king of Poitou,
Oh, damn.
and I make a lot of work for him.
Yeah,
But
as one should.
unfortunately, that also makes everybody who doesn't like him does not like me. And there's a lot of Ventru, one in particular, who have been problematic for quite some time.
That was hell of an introduction. Congratulations. I love it.
Thank you.
Hoping you enjoy the tales to come, the stories to come. We're going to see where you end up. With that being said, as I mentioned with Marli's session last episode, I like to paint scenes that are grim, that are dark. It's taking me a bit to get into my stride, especially with this new format of storytelling. So for the first little bit, I'm probably going to be relying fairly heavily on dice rolls because, well, that's what I know. Until I can figure things out.
Oh, I did forget to mention one thing, so when you're done, remind me to remind you.
We find ourselves... before I get into that, what were you going to say?
Because of her Pictish origin, she does have tattoos. But most of them, she doesn't have any on her face. They're all neck down.
Gotcha. So, before we got started, I asked you to envision a specific scene. Set of circumstances. For our viewers, we find ourselves near the beginning Spanish Inquisition. Nobody saw it coming. Don't expect, because you don't expect the Spanish Inquisition. The church is in upheaval. They're trying to run out the rabble rousers. They don't exactly appreciate, they don't like, and they're trying to clear a path. People have gone into hiding. People are trying to flee any way they can. It is a time of extreme social upheaval. You never know who you can trust. Never know where somebody's allegiances lie. You never quite know what's around that next corner. And you don't dare trust anybody because trust can be a double-edged sword. Trust can lead to a lot of problems. Trust can lead to ultimate untimely death. Ultimately,
I sent you a piece of music.
I have to be careful what I play because
Right.
it will get muted, and we don't want that.
Good point.
And of course, we have noise in the background here, so I'm trying to find something that works. Just bear with me for one moment. Hopefully this will work, maybe? We're gonna find out. I screw around with my voice settings. We find ourselves precipice of a new age, a new time, a new chapter in history. And how things turn out, well, That's for the gods to decide. They duke it out for territory. I asked you to paint a scene. Where do you see yourself? I want you
In
to
her studio.
I want you to embellish with all 5 senses. Paint this for me. Make me feel like I'm there. I want to be able to close my eyes and just experience it.
It's night. The sky is practically entirely clear, barely a wisp of cloud. A half moon that's so bright it's almost white. There's a rather large mansion, all made out of stone. And in the back, there's a very elaborate garden. Flowers from all over the place, even ones that come from far countries that most of the people in this city will never see in their lifetimes. And in the very corner near the back, there's an archway that leads to a raised up patio that oversees the entire garden. And there, right in the middle of that, is Val. She has a large easel. The canvas is messy. It looks like she's been working at it and erasing it and painting over it and erasing it. And she's very frustrated until finally she just stops and puts everything down and just listens to everything around her. The little bugs, the humans, all the vampires that are in the house bitching about this, that, or the other thing. And one by one, she blocks it all out until finally there's just the scene. Then she picks her paintbrushes back up and starts to work again.
That sounds like an absolutely gorgeous scene. I want you. You've been doing this for a while. You would be fairly adept at what you do. I want you to make me a craft roll as you attempt to paint a scene. 6s and above are considered a success. 1, they fail. 2 10s are a critical success. They count as doubles, effectively. I'll explain those once we hit them. D10s.
I was like, shit, what kind of die do I need? Hold on. It's a big pouch.
Whisper has been gracious enough to let me borrow his actual VTM set.
Nice.
I'm actually going to go ahead and dump just so I got it. So 6 and above is your success. I have 3 dots in craft, which means you get to roll 3 dice. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my difficulty chart for tonight. One moment, folks, while we dig through things here.
Okay. We have a 7, a 9, and a 5.
That is 2 successes. And for me, that is actually not going to succeed. Because it took you a bit to put yourself in the mindset for this. Kind of feel something, but you're not quite sure what it is. You can't quite get that idea, that picture, that you can't quite get it. You can't get it quite right, you know. How an artist will sit there and again erase over and over and over. This trend continues with you. City around you, town around you, quiets down, start to wind down for the door. In, however, it seemed to be just getting started for it's louder. More than once, your pencil or lead skips over the paper. It doesn't quite ruin it, but you can tell where the lines were before.
Are you waiting for me to respond to that?
Yep.
Okay.
So if I fall silent like that for a moment or two, you're more than
Okay,
welcome to
that's my
step
turn.
in.
Okay. She's going to pick up the canvas and crash it. Like, start destroying it on the bench that's next to her. She's not screaming, more like just a constant frustrating growl, and she just destroys the canvas until it's in tatters. And then she throws it aside. Better. Now, let's try that again. And she has a stack on the side of other canvases. And she's going to pick up a new one, put it back, and just kind of stare at it. And really, with that noise, why do they have to be so noisy tonight?
Make me a crafting roll, please.
We have a 6. Oh, no, wait, that's a 9, a 2, and a 10.
That is 2 successes. Which again, unfortunately, tonight, not going to be. Don't quite make as heavy a line this time. Your rolls being, you can easily erase them and try again. When you hear a voice, kind of a deep male voice from behind you speaking, you know, sometimes our fuck-ups are some of our greatest achievements.
And whose fuck up would you be?
Oh, come on, Val. You know me better. Please be cordial this evening. It's quite a nice night, would you say?
It would be nicer if they were. I just want to finish this. That's all.
Perhaps a short walk might be in your head a little bit? To eat.
I am a little peckish, I suppose. And if I ruin another canvas, I don't think Etienne will be very, very happy with me.
You know, always had a stick up their ass. A little too uptight. You can't rush create. You can't force it either. If it's not the night, it's not the night. It comes when it comes, you know? You know how it is with things of beauty.
Yes, well, us Methuselahs, stubborn, and poets on top of it. They're a special kind. You have to love them in their own way.
A moment later, a figure from the voice makes its way around your side. Kind of stands in front of you. This is Marcus. You've known him for quite a bit. He actually lives in. Being a little loud. You distinctly recall his voice, one of the ones that stood out. Is there anything I can do to help?
You mean aside from keeping your baritones to when singing is actually required?
Like I said, creativity strikes when it strikes. It can't be helped.
Well, do you have anything strikingly inspiring now? Perhaps that would help. I do love music.
Not overly. I mean, I do have my repertoire of songs.
Yes, but we've heard them all. Surely you have something new.
Give me one sec. My cat is on the stove again. That is going to drive me nuts. One second. As for what I have in my repertoire, nothing's quite striking me at the moment.
Fine. Well, I suppose I'll just have to settle for a drink. You did say you'd be an escort.
I don't believe I said that, but if you're asking, yes, I'm more than happy to escort. The offer is there.
Well, then I suppose we should go. Did you have anywhere in mind? As I said, I would like something new.
There's this nice little bakery down the way. I hear they have some rather delectable flavors staffing the place.
Ooh, I love pastries. So sweet.
That's what we're calling them these days, is it?
I suppose. I mean, I could call them boudin, but not everybody likes blood sausage.
Marcus kind of looks at the canvas as you kind of get up from your spot. Are you going to leave that here? Are you going to take it inside?
Oh, trust me. I don't think anyone would be, well, stupid enough to touch it. They know to leave my work alone.
That's fair. And with that, he kind of gestures for you to head on. Apparently, he's going to he's going to follow. You guys make your way through this garden back towards the house. Rather elaborate house. You know, as the French are known to do. Rather decorative, elaborate.
So gaudy.
Describe it for me.
Incredibly brightly colored. Chandeliers everywhere. everything kind of sparkles or shines a little bit more than you would expect it to. Like there's somebody who spends all day shining it or something.
One moment.
And
Somebody changed the Discord order. Okay. I'm going to have to recapture your Discord window. 1 second. That's not what I want. Where are you at? There you are. Just means I'm going to have to slice and dice, that's all. It's no big deal. Cool. Come on. Okay, go ahead. Gaudy, brightly colored chandeliers everywhere.
yes, but strangely, not a lot of mirrors, which is weird. But for some reason, there's just not many around. And while there's goblets and everything else everywhere, there's not really much food out that you would expect in a house like this. So, so if a regular person were to walk through, despite the amount of people in the house, there seems to be very little to eat. Not that it's a concern to them anyway. The furniture is, again, we're talking early Renaissance-ish. So everything is extremely elaborate, gilded, like this kind of pattern on practically everything. Everybody is extremely finely dressed. I believe the fashion at the time means bosoms out practically to the nipples. That sort of thing. Big hair.
As you make your way through the manor, through the house, nobody bothers to stop you. There's a couple of people milling about, but nobody bothers to stop you, really. They just all kind of look at you, smile, maybe give a little bit of a wave, and let you continue on your way, as Marcus follows behind. As you go to grab the handle of the front door, there's a rather loud knocking, almost frantic-like. And there's a muffled voice on the other side of the door.
Do I recognize it?
That is going to require, just let me see here, either insight or intelligence, one of the two. I believe you have 2 in each.
Yeah, for some reason I can't see insight on my sheet. Maybe
it's under your skills. Should be second column.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, so it's 2 no matter one. So we'll go with insight. A 2 and a 3.
You do not recognize this voice, but they do sound panicked.
Peephole.
Picking it up and looking out?
Yeah, I'm looking through the peephole.
So there is kind of a tall man on the other side, standing probably about 6 feet maybe, fairly pale, Looks like he might be one of yours. Looks really, really frantic. And as you're looking at him, you start to notice some odd things, such as the singe marks on his clothing. It looks like his clothing was also hastily thrown on. And he looks like he's just been in a fight of his life. Fairly beat up, ragged.
Do I recognize him from the people?
No.
I'm gonna open the door.
You open the door. This man bursts in through the door. Quick, shut it, shut it, shut it!
I do. And lock it.
You shut the door and you lock it. Marcus, kind of perplexed as to what's going on. As soon as this guy bursts in through the door, has a look of surprise on his face. Etienne? The other man looks up, nods. They're coming. Who? Who's coming? Remember that thing we were talking about a couple of days ago? How the church seemed to be on the warpath? They've started clearing out nests in neighborhoods. Unfortunately, I'm the last one left from mine. We didn't know they were coming until they were almost on top of us. Figured you might want a head start.
How the hell did this happen?
Your guess is as good as mine. But they are taking no prisoners. I watched my bondmate be set on fire in front of my eyes.
We need to go now. Come on. Looks like we're not going to the bakery tonight.
You have a couple of minutes to gather your possessions, but don't be long. You take what is necessary. Hopefully things will be brighter on the other side.
Yes, well, I suppose as a poet, it's your job to see the darker side of things, and I will try to see the lighter. Now, Marcus, please see that everyone gets their things. I will go get mine.
Marcus nods, rushes off. You can hear him talking in kind of frantic tones to anybody who will listen. You hear a couple of murmurs, a couple of really shocked sounding gasps, and then you hear the patter of feet, leaving you and Etienne standing by the door.
Come on. Come with me. I'll get you. We need to get a few things from my room, and then we will go.
Etienne nods.
We can't stay here anymore.
Etienne nods, follows without hesitation as you head up into your room. What does your room look like?
Large. Obviously, really, really heavy curtains on the window. There's a bed, but it's for show. And pretty much aside from there's an entire far wall that is covered in various paintings, canvases, size. It's very messy. Like it's just kind of haphazardly, like it's kind of like wherever she like just that's her doom pile of paintings. Um, the rest of the room is fairly neat. There's there's two other doors that one leads to where she actually sleeps, and then the other one leads to a rather decadent bathroom.
As you rush into your room and start looking around, I want you to describe to me the things that you are taking. What do you plan to take with you this evening?
Well, she takes all the money that she has, which she generally keeps in a single pouch in one of her drawers. She grabs a few pieces of jewelry, some of which look extremely old, a few of which look like they're made out of straight up ancient iron. Mostly they look like big hoops. There's one that's almost like a chain that you might wrap around like your waist or something. I'm being vague on purpose. If you know what those things are significant for, yay for you. And then there's a small bundle of cloth, which looks a little bit like a tartan, but it's hard to make out the colors in this light. And then, shit, what was it? Right. There would be another chest which has various instruments, painting supplies. What she actually grabs out of there is actually an old looking set of carving tools. That's all she grabs.
You grab these items. I'm assuming you grab a bag to go with them?
Yes.
You throw them in the bag, sling the bag on, and a moment later, you guys are rushing out of the house. From the end of the street, you can hear men yelling. You can hear screaming, babies crying, and you can smell the definite aroma of smoke. As a matter of fact, as you look over that way, you can see clouds of smoke billowing over the tops of the houses. They're not wasting any time as you guys disappear off into the night down one of the side streets. Only for a moment later, two soldiers to step in your way. At the end of the alley.
Are they heavily armed? Are they just like two dudes in basic armor?
Interesting question. And for you, roll me. No. You know what? They look like standard soldiers. They've got swords. They've got... They're fairly lightly armed, but you don't know if they've got anything else on them. Like, from what you can see, they look lightly armed, right? But there's no way to tell what else they might be hiding.
So I'm just checking something here.
Yeah, you take all the time you need.
Val's going to turn to Etienne and grab his hand. We do not have time to mess around with silly mortals. We'll just run past them and keep going. We can't afford to slow down. We are running out of night. And we're going to use Blink to move past them as quickly as possible.
Okay, so here is where I open up my rule book. 1 second. That is under which discipline?
Celerity.
Celerity. 1 moment, please. And
that is a Dex plus Athletics roll.
Yes, I also have to familiarize myself with these. So, this is going to be 1 rouse check for you, which I believe is a hunger dice, if I remember correctly. So the way your hunger dice works, for each dot you have in hunger, that replaces one of your regular dice rolls. It cannot be taken away, cannot be removed until you satisfy that hunger. A 10, again, 6 and above is a success. A 1 is a bestial fail, in which case the beast starts to wrap itself around your mind with that. With a rouse check, the rouse check basically is you trying to summon your abilities and see if the beast will allow you to utilize those and you still be able to control the beast. So you're going to take a hunger dice and you're going to roll it. Your success is a 6 or above. That will determine if you successfully get it.
Seven.
You do not add a dot of hunger to your hunger to your hunger track. You successfully manage to activate your abilities without awakening the beast any. 1 second. And yes, that is going to be a dexterity plus athletics, or as needed. So, for those of you that are unaware, Blink. The vampire swiftly closes in on a foe, engaging or escaping in the blink of an eye. To an unprepared observer, the user almost appears to teleport, a rush of wind the only sign of their passing. The vampire moves in a straight line towards the target, covering any distance under 50 meters while still having enough time to perform an action, such as an attack during the turn. If the terrain is in any way hazardous, the character needs to make a dexterity plus athletics roll to avoid stumbling and coming to a halt on the way. The storyteller may call for other contests as desired, especially if a vampire races a distant foe to an object or an action. Vampires engaging a foe with this power act as if already engaged when the turn begins. In this case, because they are standing in your way and you are trying to get past them, I am going to count that as difficult terrain. So
Okay.
your dex and your athletics. Basically add those together. Whatever your number total for the dots that you have is your combined dice pool. And my difficulty chart says this is going to be... Go ahead.
So I have 2 10s, a 7, and an 8.
Okay. So, remember that critical success I told you about?
Yeah.
The critical success is anytime you get 2 10s. Those 2 10s count as double the successes, but it only happens in pairs. So you have 4 successes plus your extra 2 from the 2 10s, which gives you a total of 6. Which gives you a total of 6 successes altogether. They don't even see you coming. They just kind of blink and you're gone. They look around confused for a moment. Almost as if they can't believe their eyes before yelling out, "We got to!"
I'm assuming we're out of earshot, and I would be ignoring them anyway.
You can hear them, but you are gone.
Yeah.
At this point, we are going to break for a few minutes.
chance to be ruthless. Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared I walk a straight path. Not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. So instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Taking shots at the enemy, I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take a new song. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as
tracks and some music that you never guessed. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
you are not as tough though.
Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, no, this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. it. The noose it fits some lucid shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh, I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions, each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go get off the grid. Feel like my brain is overloaded, man, I'm losing it. Don't let them tell you what to do, man, they don't know shit.
Welcome back. And we find ourselves with a fleeing Val and Etienne. Both of them fleeing the church, having been separated from their comrades and those that they knew. Trying to figure out where they're going, how they're going to get back to their unlife as normal. The dark night beckons, but not for long. Unfortunately, the scent of dawn is on the air. It is coming. Which means one thing if they are caught in its glorious rays. Hope you brought the marshmallows. And they find themselves fleeing through parts of what could be considered the center of town. At least they would have been had they not been burned to the ground. The ruins, smoking wreckage lying all around you. Smoke drifting lazily up from the former houses, now ruins. Off in the distance, you can still hear... Off in the distance, you can still hear the sounds of the soldiers. And it's here that we open the second half of our scene for tonight. And we're going to start off by getting Val to roll us an awareness check. Well, you know what? Combine your intelligence and your awareness.
Okay.
That should give you an ample amount of dice. Oh.
We have 2 8s, a 9, and a 5.
2 8s, a 9, and a 5. That is 3 successes. With your 3 successes, you notice before Etienne does, almost the sound of somebody kicking a pebble down one of the alleyways. And then a moment later, silence. And then a scurrying of feet heading away from you.
Were they recognizable kind of footsteps? Does it sound human-y or does it sound more like us?
That's going to require an insight for me, unfortunately.
6 and a 7.
They do sound human. And these do not sound like your ordinary shoes. It sounds like military issue.
Running away from us.
Correct.
She's going to keep going in the direction she's headed.
You keep heading in the direction that you were headed.
But she will be keeping a close ear to everything.
Etienne notices you stop before having an almost puzzled expression on your face. And you pick back up a moment later. Is everything okay?
I heard something. Turned out to be human, going away from us. I don't have time to waste on possibilities right now. We just need to find a place to be safe for the night. Or for the day.
I do have what I assume is still a safe house. Unfortunately, it is on the other side of the city. And it's going to take us a couple of hours to get there.
Couldn't have said that sooner?
I've been trying to head in that direction. But, you know, in the franticness of trying to get away from...
Yes, yes, I know. We're in mortal peril. Now, please, spare me with the dramatics tonight. I don't want to burn.
And I
So
do?
let's go. Exactly. Let's go.
Etienne falls silent and follows your lead.
Well, I meant for him too. It's like, if you have a place to go, then lead the way. We'll go there, because she's just shooting in the dark here.
Taking a moment to gather his surroundings, he looks at the buildings. He looks kind of puzzled, almost as if he's trying to get his bearings. It takes him a long moment before he heads off to the south, down what used to be a dark back alley. The smoking wreckage of the buildings around. Every once in a while you come across what might have been a human. Unfortunately, the bodies are too maimed to tell anymore. They look vaguely human-ish. Almost as if these guys didn't really care what happened. Takes you, again, a solid couple of hours before you reach a nondescript white building on the edge of the city. The windows are boarded up. The door seems quite sturdy. Etienne pops a key out of his pocket, slides it in the lock, opens the door, and all you hear is as the door swings open. He takes a moment to look around, and then steps inside and motions for you to get in.
Is there any obvious sounds, or does it sound like it's just us in here?
How close are you listening?
Very carefully, incredibly paranoid at the moment.
At the moment, there does not appear to be any sounds in this building.
Well, do you expect anybody else to know of this place, or will it be just us?
I have a couple of acquaintances that know this place exists in an emergency. Whether or not they're going to show up tonight, I have no idea, but given the circumstances, I wouldn't say that's entirely outside of the realm of possibility.
And any fail-safes in case this place gets discovered?
This is it.
Truly, you must be joking.
We had...
Not even a back door, a passageway, a cellar?
We had another safe house. They burned it.
Yes, they're awfully good at that. But where are the monsters?
You know humans, they do like their fire.
It's not just fire they're after.
I'm well aware it's not just fire they're after.
We can't stay here after tonight.
I'm
thinking we can go to the islands after this. It's been a long time since I've been there.
I'll see about potentially trying to make contact with one of my sources. But again, there's no guarantee, especially if they're trying to chase people out of the territory. Well, I mean, we call them people, but again, we're the monsters, right?
I suppose. On the other hand, I find it a little hard to believe that they found us so easily. Part of me wonders if this isn't somebody else's doing as well.
Who did you
He
have in
kept,
mind?
well, there's always a certain Abel who's not quite fond of you.
Yeah, there is that. That being said, I hope they'd have more sense than that.
They're been true, really. What did you expect?
There's still one of us. That would be considered a breach, would it not?
Yes, well, it's rather new for everyone. Not everyone is keen on all this masquerade, hiding. We all like the mummers, but
Anyways, I'll try and make contact with one of my associates in the morning, in the evening. But
tell
there's
me,
no guarantee.
yes, you've made that quite clear. Well, since there's obviously not much else to do, I suppose we can wait away the hours to make sure they don't find us. I hope you have more than just one place to sleep.
There's a couple of coffins in the basement. Left hand side, take the door behind me. It'll lead you down a set of stairs to the stone basement. In the stone basement, on one of the walls, you will find almost like a light holder, a sconce on one of the walls. Pull it down and twist it to the right. It'll open up a segment in the wall, a secret room, which has a couple of coffins in it. You are more than welcome to use one.
And here I have,
Very well spoken.
and here I half expected you to want to cuddle up again and share the same coffin.
As if I have standards.
Right, yes, of course. Like you never wanted to be behind Daddy's footsteps. Mm-hmm.
And you didn't? Tell me it didn't tempt you at least a little.
Yes, yes. Well, there's a reason why we're related.
The coffin is yours if you want it. If not, you're welcome to go back outside and find your own spot.
Haha. Always the Joker. I'll be fine. I will see my way down. I am glad we survived.
Yeah, but I have to wonder what the future holds for us. This doesn't bode well, especially if the Ventru were likely to break silence that we have imposed for not only our safety but for the Kine as well.
I can hope. Unfortunately for tonight, that's all we can do. I'm sure things will be clearer tomorrow. At the very least, we can leave this particular city, or what's left of it, and go for greener pastures.
Etienne says nothing in response.
Well, in that case, I suppose I will see you in the morrow. Try not to die.
I could say the same to you as well.
Always do. Good night, brother.
You just see this kind of smirk playing at the corner of his mouth. Good night.
And down to the cellar.
Heading down to the cellar, you find the sconce not a problem. Twist it, and pull it down and twist it. And again, the wall pulls open. Inside is a rather lavishly decorated room. And coffins are the centerpiece. Velvet curtains line the walls. There's a writing desk. There's an armchair with a bookshelf stocked with all sorts of books. There also seems to be soft, almost like a soft material covering the floor. You're not quite sure what it is, but it feels very nice on the feet.
How nice.
We're talking like plush carpet.
So it's a very tactile experience.
Yes.
She's going to spend a little time just feeling the texture, moving her feet on it. She takes off her shoes and just sort of wonders what it's made out of as she stares into it.
You're not sure, but this is not something you usually see in a house of this day and age. Something like this may have cost a fortune.
Unsurprising. Somebody's a snob, as always. She actually says to no one.
In the middle of this room, you see, again, the coffins, which are the centerpiece. They are cobalt black. Very elaborately decorated. The bouquet of roses on the top of each. Looking at them, it almost feels as if, like, the slightest touch might break something.
She's going to commit this scene to memory. She wants to burn it in her mind, essentially, so that at some point in the future she can recreate it.
Then I will get you to write that down in your notes. And we'll figure out what to do with that later.
Okay.
As you approach the coffin, your foot comes down on a section of this plush floor. It sinks down about a half a millimeter, almost as if it's touched a pressure plate of sorts. And the lid of one of these coffins flips open as you approach.
Does it look cozy inside?
Only the coziest. Take the feeling of silk sheets, the look of silk sheets, like fresh silk sheets, and multiply that by about 50.
She is very impressed and pleased. She feels the fabric lovingly. She's actually considering sleeping in here naked.
There's the handle on the inside of the coffin lid.
Well, I suppose there's no time like the present. The more rest I get, the better we'll do for tomorrow. If there is a tomorrow, there better be a tomorrow.
You take the handle, you pull it down, the lid follows, and a moment later you are encased in complete darkness. couldn't have been long when you hear yelling and shouting from somewhere distant. You hear the unmistakable sound of Etienne's voice coming from somewhere. Almost as if he's scared out of his mind. You distinctly hear the words, "I won't let you have her unless it's over my dead body." And then a moment later you hear him scream, which is cut off rather abruptly. The lid to the coffin is thrown open, jarring you fully out of your sleep, before you feel the absolute sharp pain of a stake driving its way into your body. And as the blackness claims you, you hear a cackling voice. "You'll do just fine. You are what we've been looking for." And that's where we're gonna cut the scene for tonight.
Dun, dun, dun.